Everybody, welcome to CRJ233AZ1. This is a class on research methods, and my name is Sue Figge. I am going to be your adjunct professor for the next 6 weeks. Some of you have had me before, and some of you have not. For those of you who have had me, sit back and take a break for a minute while I tell my new students who I am. So I was a police officer for the city of Westfield for 32 years. That's a long time. During that time period, I investigated serious crimes, sexual assault, child abuse, homicides, serious domestics, not so serious domestics. I was a liaison to the schools for all serious offenses within the school. So I have a huge background. During that time, and even after I retired, I worked at the Mass Criminal Justice Training Academy as an instructor and helped write the program on sexual assault. I have been recognized as a top instructor there, and I no longer teach there because I needed to move forward in different directions and put that kind of behind. That was a really, good part of my life, but it's time to move forward in my retirement. I've been working at Bay Path as an instructor for the last, I'd say 10 to 15 years. I really like their programs that involve non-traditional students, and quite frankly, the only classes I will teach will not be non-traditional students, because that's the group of people that I most relate with best. A little not background, but who I am. I have 2 kids that are not kids anymore. My son's 31, and he's a resident at UMass Medical. My daughter's a teacher of science in Springfield. My husband and I have been together for, I think we're going on like almost 38 years. That has a lot to do with we have low expectations each day. We laugh about that. We laugh a lot. We joke a lot. That, as anybody who's been married or been in a long-term relationship, we all know that that is work as well. So that's enough about me. Let's get on to what this class is about and some of the things that will be help to make you become a better student with me, to get a better grade, to be successful in this course. Always keep in mind that there's just a few things that will always get you a better grade. One is being on time. Make your work in on time. So let's look at this course. The first week you have a icebreaker. That is a 0 point. So most people ignore that. Don't ignore that. It's important for me to know who you are and who others know who you are. Then the second week, which is coming up this week, we have the first assignment is due February 23rd coming up. That's the active engagement. The active engagement says that we would need to have the first discussion should be 250 words, and after that you'll have 50 words to respond to your peers. Keep in mind, I look at that. I count those, and I make sure that they're within that. That does not mean that you can't do a response to 4 of your peers. The more the merrier. I can tell you that. So if you do this and you do this on time, there's no reason why you can't do great on your discussions. I want to tell you that you have to put in where your sources are from on the bottom, and that's really important to me. Put your sources in. All right, so let's go to the next part of this. The next module we have will be shortly thereafter. It has to do with your papers. This is another way to get a good grade. Have it in on time, have it pertinent, and you have to have the 4 to 5 pages. So let's talk about what 4 to 5 pages means. It doesn't mean your cover sheet, and it doesn't mean your resource page. It means 4 to 5 pages of the gut of your paper. What's in your paper. And it doesn't mean 3 3/4 or 3 5/8. It means 4 pages. And I look to that. Don't send me a paper that's in bold type. Don't send me a paper that doesn't follow APA style, because that will be brought, especially on this class, it's going to be brought down heavily. Your first class is on how to do an APA style paper. So this should be very helpful to all of you. And quite frankly, I would have loved if this had been given your first class. I think it would have helped everybody. Then we're gonna look at another module that's in here. And the module is, when I went and I looked at it, it's week 4. Week 4 is not the one. It's got to be week 3 then. Because it's different than anything that I've ever done with anybody before. And this is where you're going to go online and do a certificate program. Keep in mind, I've already done this. And one of the ways I've found easiest for me to do this paper, and this may be a little training tool for all of you, is you can download the PDF of this. So I downloaded the PDF and I did a hard copy of it. This is a helpful study guide for me. That's the way I learn, and I'm just giving you a heads up that you could do that. It might work for you. You can start that at any point in time. I know that this is due on March 11th, but you could do that tomorrow if you had time and get it done and be ready to just turn it in. So there you go. That makes it, anything you can turn in any paper early. It's when you turn them in late that you get credit taken away. So feel free. You want to do early? Go ahead, knock yourself out. I appreciate it. I also want to tell you the most important thing that you should write down right now is my telephone number. My telephone number is 413-883-3537. Again, it's 413-883-3537. I work best with texting, so feel free to text me at any point in time if you're stuck or you have an issue and you don't know how to get something done. Or if you have a family emergency or you have a medical issue. Just so you know, I require documentation if you use this as for a reason not having your paper in or any of your work done. You must have some type of documented reason. I learned the hard way. Remember, I was a police officer for many years, but I learned the hard way when I had a student that claimed, her grandparents. She didn't realize that she told me that semester before that her grandparents had died, and then she said they had died again in the next class I had with her. So from that point forward, I said, you know what? We're just going to do this across the board for everybody. Please just feel free to get me a doctor's note. You don't have to tell me what you're sick from or if your baby's sick from something, whatever it may be, because I think being a mom is hard enough. If you have a child in your house that's sick and you got a doctor's note, I'll work with you on giving you some extra time. I try to be as flexible as I can with that, but I must have some type of doctor's note or documented reason. If you have any questions, there's my telephone number again, 413-883-3537. So I wish you all well on this class, and we will be talking. I'll be sending out videos every week, and I hope that if you have any troubles, you get a hold of me before the assignment's due and not after. Thank you very much. Best of luck to you. Bye-bye.